Hey, what's good? I'm Tristan. You're watching Precision Rifle Reviews, and today I have in my hand an item that I personally have been waiting for quite some time. It's something that I really wanted and felt was needed in the March Scopes lineup. The manufacturer Dion really listened to the market and shooters and made a Gen 2, which is what this is, a Generation 2 of their, I would say, famous 5 to 40 power rifle scope. So the power range is from 5 to 40 with a 56mm objective lens. You have a 34mm main tube, and that hasn't changed from the Gen 1 to this Gen 2. But what they have changed, and this video was not designed to be a complete review of the Gen 2, however, I suppose it will be, more going over some of the features that have changed on this scope, because they really have made this thing incredible. This is my new favorite rifle scope. It is not going anywhere. First and foremost, they have a new reticle, which I'm going to implement into the video photograph at the end of the video, but it's an amazing reticle, Christmas tree reticle. This particular one has the illumination. Now, I really love the way that the illuminated reticle works on the March scopes. Instead of going on, setting 1, 2, or brightness 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it might be, and then off, you have this sort of switch here on the outside, and you select what brightness level you want from 1 to 6, and then it's quite simply on and off. If you don't touch your rifle scope and it sits idle for a certain period of time, naturally it's going to go ahead and turn itself off, so it doesn't waste battery. So there's the illuminated reticle, but in this 5 to 40 Gen 2, instead of just having a center dot or just the inside of the reticle to illuminate the entire thing, the entire Christmas tree illuminates, which is really good. Lately we've been doing a bit of PRS style shooting of an evening, and as soon as your black reticle comes off the target in dusk, you really sort of lose your sight picture very quick. You lose your reticle very quickly. So that's an awesome thing in itself. Now, one of the changes from the original 5 to 40 to this particular one is that they have a wide angle fast focus eye box here at the end. So going back through that wide angle, it's obviously just when you're looking through your scope, it's just you have more vision from left to right. It's just a wide angle eyepiece, but it's also fast focus. So from here, you turn this in one revolution, it basically does its entire circumference of eye diopter for people who wear eyeglasses. The great thing I like about it is that you pull it back, and then you've got a second locking ring here that you screw back in to lock it out. You will notice, and this is no change, it's now actually included, that you have the fast throw power lever. So to change the amount of magnification from 5 to 40 is from this little dial here. As you can see, I've got a lever on there, and there's been videos in the past where people have said, oh, it's a plastic throw lever. How crap is that? And it makes me laugh every single time. If you think getting a band of metal, strapping it to your sensitive rifle scope and screwing it on there, or bolting it on there, or pinching it on there is a good idea, you're in for some bad news. As soon as that lever is bumped, because it's bolted on there, it's so much torque and leverage, it will physically damage your rifle scope. 100% guaranteed. If it was ever dropped or bumped, or in a PRS stage, if you can imagine putting your rifle into something and then you brought it back and jammed it and hit it on that, it'll just bend it with that amount of leverage. You've got the lever off there. It 100% will damage your rifle scope. So as a design feature, we decided, or March Scopes decided, to make theirs out of plastic. It simply just clicks on and off, and don't let that sort of discourage you. It's not going to bump off, but if you smash it, instead of damaging your rifle scope, it'll just simply, well, as you can see there, it's not as simple as that. It takes a bit of force, but it will simply just click off like that, and then the whole thing comes off. The other great thing that I like about it, I'm not too sure if the camera's going to pick up on it, one side is curved, one side is flat, so when it sits onto your power throw lever, the lovely writing, which is inscripted all the way around for your magnification, is still very, very visible. Okay, so now we get up to the turrets, because this is where this scope comes into its own. I have had the pleasure of holding a lot of different rifle scopes from every different manufacturer that you can think of, and I'm not going to say any manufacturers because I don't believe in discouraging other competitors' products to try and sell your own, but I'm just saying that I have held just every different scope that there is available. I don't put a shooting budget onto my own personal firing systems, and full disclaimer, I pay for these items. I am a March Scopes sub dealer, so I can sell you a rifle scope, but I pay for my own items. This has been purchased with my own money. The turrets on this scope, when we were at the last SHOT Show in America, I was having this turret and telling people to hold it in your hand and dial me 3.2 mil, so you'd have to dial it and without looking, click up. They are so tactile and so audible, it is not funny. I was actually just doing it before and looking as it goes around. They're so audible, and so you can feel those clicks so much as I go through. I can actually feel and see my hand vibrating as I go through. Let's just hold it there. I'm not too sure if the camera's picking up on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, they are the best clicks and feel. The tactile turrets for the elevation and the windage, exactly the same thing that I have ever felt before. Each one, it feels like imagine running your hand over a corrugated piece of iron. It's like click, click, click. They're very, very, you're not ever going to get it wrong. They're the best I have ever felt, bar nothing. Okay, so that being said, very, very good click turrets. You have a zero stop function on this optic, and that has been improved. Other rifle scopes on the market, in order to set your zero stop, and excuse me if you do know what a zero stop is, but hey, this is a video for the masses and some people don't. What a zero stop is you set a point in elevation, and then you can dial up your elevation, and as you dial back down, the turret will physically stop at that 0 point. So say you needed that much elevation to get on, and that's your 0 point at 100 meters. You set your zero stop, you dial up to shoot 600 meters or 2,000 meters, and then when you dial back down, when you get to your 100 meter 0 point, the rifle turret just stops, and that's a zero stop. So excuse me if you already knew that. But other manufacturers, to set that, you take this turret off, you put your fingers down into the bowels of the rifle scope, and you play with greasy cam locks, and you've got to rub your head and pat your stomach and stand on one leg and wave to your neighbor, and that will entitle you to do this. And if you move the thing, it's dialed elevation and it's screwed up. This is how you set the March Scope Zero Stop. So I want to demonstrate that it's currently not locked. So say this is our set point. We take the new little, I believe it's a 1.5 or 2 millimeter hex wrench or Allen wrench. You could just use any Allen key, but they now include a little device to do it. You put it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. Turn it 6.5 times, dial up elevation, and then when we come back, it stops. It's that easy. That's the zero set stop. Is set, and then to turn it back off, you're done. If you have a scope that you've got to pull it apart, you're getting dudded. That's just the best system I have ever seen. It's unbelievable. Now, the other thing that you might have already picked up on, this little lever on the side, on the windage, and they've got the same on the top there. For a competition style shooting, like PRS events, where you don't want to necessarily dial on elevation, and you're going to be running this turret in and out of barricades and plonking it on your bag and that sort of thing. Some shooters do get a little bit concerned with dialing on elevation, or particularly dialing on windage without seeing it. I've seen it before where people have gone into a stage and come back and gone, I bumped it. You bump it that much, at 1,000 meters, you're missing by a meter, or more. That's 1 mil. So it's a huge amount of error to accidentally dial on. To combat that, they now have a lock. So you've got movement in either directions. You simply get this little dial and switch it from blue to red. And yes, that should have been green. I don't know why they selected blue, maybe hot and cold, who knows. But so when it's on red, that turret is completely locked out. If you go to a stage and you're like, I need to move it, you don't have to do anything fancy to turn it back off. Just go like that, and now you can dial the turret. It's exactly the same on the top. You just push it that way, and it's locked. Siri's telling me something there. And then to turn it on, you switch it back that way, and you're ready to go. So it's got a turret lock, and like I say, that's a really cool thing. The focus is on this side. Now this rifle scope will focus all the way down to 10 meters. So people shooting air rifle or shooting 22 rimfire, it's a fantastic option. It will focus full maximum power at 10 meters. Go and check your rifle scope specifications and tell me if it focuses at 10 meters, because most likely it wouldn't. March scopes are a handmade item. Today at the factory, Sally doesn't fit lenses to 20 rifle scopes, and they're a tier 1 rifle scope, and that's a fantastic thing. March scopes in the year of 2020 doubled their staff from, I think it was 8 to 16, and one optical engineer builds one scope. When this rifle scope goes together, the optical engineer receives all the parts in a box, and they're in a special dust-free special room to put it together. The scope physically will not go together because it's too big. The componentry that goes inside is too big. They have to physically hand sand and hand lap the components to fit inside this scope to get it to go together. And that's why when you dial on that power curve, it really is unlike anything else. It's not like dialing the volume on your crappy radio. This thing has got zero movement, just zero. It's, like I say, it's a 100% handmade item. It started life as a solid brick or a billet of aluminium or aluminum, depending on what country you come from, and it's machined down to this shape. On the underside, you'll see here that there is no door. Some rifle scopes have a door at the bottom, which is a bit of a cheat because that's how they get everything in and out to make it a lot cheaper. But that door can leak and all those sorts of things. These ones don't have it. It's just a solid thing. So that all being said, like I say, your focus dial is on the left-hand side. You've got your illumination there, and we've gone over everything else. And now for, if you purchase this rifle scope, what do you get? You'll get included the sunshade that goes on the end. A lot of other manufacturers will charge you for the pleasure of owning a sunshade. They do come very well packed with these travel lens caps. Now, to be honest, only time you'd ever really use them is in transit, so it's not a huge thing. You do get that nifty little Allen wrench, which is on a key ring, which is a cool thing. You throw one in your shooting bag or put it in your bag and that sort of thing. It means that you can make little scope corrections anytime. You'll get for free included the fast throw power lever, and my favorite thing. Now let's just put this on. The March Scopes lens caps. So these are not the travel ones that I just mentioned. These are the lens caps with the like a sort of leather feel on the front here, with the March scopes embossed in the front. And when you open that, it just sort of goes up to position 1, so it's just open, but it's not locked out. What you can do is then push it to stage 2, and you heard that, it's very audible and it will not move at all, and it keeps it, as you can see there, dead flat, so the thing is locked down. It's a great feature. Don't just sort of pass that off as a, oh yeah, whatever. When you look over your rifle scope at your target and you're trying to get on target to what you want to see, it's not that good having that sitting up like that, like other manufacturers do. These ones are locked out, sitting dead flat, tied up against the body. They're not flapping around, they're not getting in your way. That's the same for the front and the rear, they're the same item. You'll also get this one here, which is a modifying disc. What it is just looks like a little donut. It's made from the same material, and it screws into the end there, and it just reduces the amount of light that comes in. And I have done this video before, so I'll just do it again. But the depth of focus increases by approximately 40%. So if you're dry firing and shooting dry fire, practicing inside, it's going to make a huge amount of difference. You'll get a little note telling you that the CR2032 battery is included. You get an extremely nice March scopes embossed silky microfiber type cleaning cloth, which is a very nice add-on. Naturally, you're going to get the specifications, and I'm going to read that to you really quickly so you know what you're going to get. We've already said that it's a 5-40 x 56 with the bigger 34mm main tube. The total length of this item is 387mm. The total weight is 950 grams. The amount of elevation that is available to you is 22 milliradians of elevation, or 11 mils of windage is going to be on hand. The total weight is 950 grams. The click value, this particular one is just the standard. 1 click equals 0.1 mils, so just the standard. This, as an option, you can order this in 0.5 mils, so half, twice as fine corrections. So if you're shooting extreme long range or very long distances, or you wanted that very fine manipulation on the elevation, you can get twice the fineness of elevation click value if you wanted to. You'll also get the repair guide and warranty cards and that sort of thing. These items now have a 10-year warranty from the factory. As a very large rifle scope seller out of Europe mentioned in one of their videos, they've sold hundreds and hundreds of rifle scopes, but they weren't too sure on how the warranty system works because they haven't sent one back for warranty yet. And I'm the same. I don't know how the warranty system works. I've never sent one back for a warranty claim. We have had a few that have gone back for people that have dropped them and damaged them. They just needed a new turret or something like that. The manufacturer charged them for the part, and that's it. Didn't charge anything else, like they were just amazed. So this company is doing really, really good things in shooting sports. You will get the owner's manual, and the thing that I love about the owner's manual is that they're very, very well illustrated, especially this one here. This is the main owner's manual. Very, very well illustrated with your exact rifle scope, all of its reticle values and that sort of thing. So it's a great thing. This is the new March Scopes Generation 2 5-40 x 56 rifle scope. I'm Tristan from Precision Rifle Reviews. Get in touch with me if you would like to purchase this or any other March Scopes product. Full disclaimer, I am a March Scopes sub dealer. If you've made it this far through the video, thanks plenty for sticking around, because it dragged on a little bit. We're at 19 minutes or something. If you've taken value from the videos that I present, feel free to subscribe, smash on the like and subscribe buttons and all that sort of thing. It helps us out. We don't send you anything, but as I make red hot videos just like this one, you'll get that early notification of it. And until the next video, stay safe, and I will see you then. Okay, I did tell you that I would show you the reticle, and I will, because it's a new reticle and I think it's a really cool thing. Before we do that, quickly, I wanted to show the turret elevation witness markings. As you can see here, the turret is quite literally bottomed out. We're at the 0 mark, and as I dial up elevation, I will point out that there's 10 milliradians of elevation per revolution. So as we dial up in elevation, you can see there that we go past that point, 7, 8, 9, and once we get to that point and you come up, you can see the next witness marking there, showing us on what revolution, how much elevation revolution we are on, is those witness markings. Now, one thing that the March scopes don't have, and I have seen them criticized for it before, is not having a mechanical witness marking or a mechanical device that pops up here, sort of similar to a pen, if you like, a mechanical marking showing you that you're on that, sort of what revolution you're on. Now, if you think by seeing a little witness mechanical marker like that coming up out of the top of the turret is going to be better or easier than seeing that entire line, well, then sort of all power to you, but I find that much easier, and it's one less thing as a mechanical item to go wrong. Okay, let's get on to having a look at this reticle. Okay, so one of the hardest things to do is to get good video through the optic, but this shows the new FML PDKI, I being illuminated, reticle quite well. As you can see on the windage line, it goes out to 6 mil rad, and then instead of continuing all the way along with numbers that you're never going to use, it goes to that triangular thick line on the outside. This is a really good thing because when you're on very low power, currently we're on 15 times magnification, the outer edge, those dark triangles, draw your eye to the center of the target for quick acquisition shooting. And I'm really doing my best to hold this in focus. I do apologize, guys. As you can see, you've got the 2, then the 4 with the 2 lines in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4 milliradians of measurement going upwards for a hold under value, and then the traditional Christmas tree going down. Now, this is a very easy to use Christmas tree. We didn't want to overbear it or make it so it's too busy or to clutter up the sight picture. So it's just very, very easy to use. Now, with my other hand, I'm going to attempt to turn the illumination on for you. So forgive me. Okay, there we go. And as I mentioned previously, the entire reticle crosshair lights up, and this is going to make it very, very easy. Some reticles you will find only the center dot or a portion of the reticle will light up with illumination. This one, the entire thing is doing it. So this reticle on the new Gen 2 is called the FML PDKI. Thanks for watching.